As someone who lives and breathes college football, I can promise you that this season will bring the mayhem. You'll feel it during huge wins and heartbreaking losses, on game-winning drives, or on drives that end in a post-game fender bender. This season, I'm teaming up with Allstate to highlight these key moments to let fans know if mayhem can show up on game day, imagine what can happen the rest of the week.
For expert advice, call your local agent today.
And now, Jalen and Jacoby on ESPN Radio.
When I pop the trunk, head the dead. Y'all pop the trunk, I pop the hood.
Now act stupid, I'll pop the trunk. Now give me your boom.
Here's Jalen versus everybody.
What up, DOE?
I'm David Jacoby.
And on the cool check-in, center stage on the mic.
And we putting it on wax. It's the new style. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And when I'm on the mic, the suckers run.
Yeah! Hey! What a pleasant surprise!
We're Jalen Jacoby. What do?
We get a people what they want. Thank y'all for that.
Oh, let me explain something.
That was love.
Y'all got everybody tweeting at me, getting mad at me, calling me all kinds of names about changing the intro, and then y'all have like a conference call behind my back and change the intro.
I swear to God, that was a surprise.
No, okay.
I did not know
I
that
believe
was
you. I'm
happening.
not accusing you of anything, Jalen. I'm just saying Reggie done change the intro. Reggie's the number one don't change the intro guy, and he's the one changing the intro. I just want everyone to look themselves in the mirror and be honest with themselves, because you change the intro every time. Reggie changes the intro every time. You know who doesn't change the intro? David Jacoby. But you know who gets yelled at all the time on the internet about changing the intro? David Jacoby. Life is not fair.
I know, but see, here's the problem. Like, you have a couple of roles with this fine company. You've been here 20 years. And you have a level of responsibility and professionalism and accountability to emails that we're not privy to. Mm-hmm. And I know how this works. You have suits that are hitting you up saying, David, you guys podcasters, killing it. We need to do some more live shows. Yep. You guys are an hour now. We got you on ESPN2. Y'all killing it. Let's expand. And just like in Paid in Full, we ain't going to DC, dog. We ain't going to DC.
Okay.
We getting love right here in NY.
Okay.
And so we're not changing it,
That's
fam.
fine. We're not
Let them come to us.
I don't want to talk about it anymore. Got so many people yelling at me. It's good to have you back, Jalen.
Thank you,
I want to
fam.
thank Zach Lowe.
Get low.
Chiney.
Get low.
Marcus Spears.
Dude, name
Brian
that.
Russillo.
Double R.
Shout out.
I have to say this. And I probably shouldn't say it to a microphone, but I'll say what I want to
It's
say.
Friday.
I love Marcus Spears.
Yeah, he's
my guy.
great. Why wouldn't you want to say that in the microphone?
I'm just saying, we've had so many people come on. I don't want that to be
never play
taken as
favorites. Yeah,
right.
never play
I don't want that to be
favorites.
taken as But I've
we've got
wanted him and asked him to come on the show, and then he was able to come on the show.
I feel like Marcus Spears is like a really promising rookie on the team.
Yeah, he's killing it.
You know what I mean?
No doubt. No doubt.
It's like, wow, I can see where this is going.
Yes.
You know, and as the veterans in the locker room, we need to take a special care.
Yes, no doubt. No doubt.
Jalen.
And it's good to have one guy on the team that probably can actually fight.
Yeah. Yep. I can't fight.
You know, I can't either.
I can't fight.
You know.
Anyone who watches the shows knows that I can't fight. My nose is next to my ear.
No. Like, he's one of those people that he can say something that you don't like. But see, you approach him, it's going to be a problem. You approach me, I'm going to run.
Me too. Me too.
I don't want anybody punching me in my face for any reason.
Jalen Rose, we have Wu-Tang news. Anytime there's Wu-Tang news, you're going to hear about it right here on Jalen and Jacoby.
I'm so enthusiastic about today's show.
Kayla, did we get 1,000 people on the petition? I think we did.
How many people we got?
All right, she's going to take us. So one thing you got
What's
to do.
Kayla's handle? At K.
It's confusing.
L-A-E Johnson.
Yes. K-L-A-E Johnson. Follow Kayla. So Wu-Tang news outside of the fact that our petition got over 1,000 signatures to have Redman and Method Man on How High 2. You cannot have How High 2 without Redman and Method Man. Not only will I not see the film, I will stand outside of the movie theater around the corner from my house with a sign for about 5 minutes and I'll get tired and go home. But I'll do that. I got those 5 minutes. So I'll make a sign.
I appreciate it's one thing, and thank you for your leadership and Harlan and whoever else on the team helped come up with the petition. But she said we got 4,254 signatures?
That's 4,000 people. 4,000. And you know what? It wasn't easy to sign that thing either. You had to put in your address. You couldn't just click a button. You had to put in your address and your name. 4,000 people put in their address and their name. So listen, Hulu, Netflix, Amazon, whoever's greenlit this thing, you got to give the people what they want.
And really, that was our opportunity to know how many people that are supporters of this program that have failed a drug test. We know that number now.
Yep, medicinal.
So we got new Wu-Tang news. Hulu has a mini-series, a scripted mini-series about the origin of the Wu-Tang Clan.
Dope.
About 12 young people caught in a world between music and crime and the founding fathers of the Wu-Tang Clan. And I was thinking about Wu-Tang a little bit as I was listening to Ghostface's Lost Tapes just came out.
Shay.
Shout out.
He came out with it. And Reggie actually said, Ghostface has a thing. I didn't even know. So I was listening to that yesterday. It's hot. It's Ghost being Ghost. Bars all day. And I was like, do you know what Wu-Tang is to me? Let me explain to you about high jumping, Jalen. Everybody used to do the scissor kick to get over the bar. And then one day, Fosbury.
Put your hands down.
Fosbury flop. He was like, I'm going to jump over this backwards and then kick my legs out at the end. And then everybody afterwards used Fosbury's flop. And I feel like Wu-Tang is the Fosbury. Wu-Tang is Fosbury. Like, everybody that's now jumping over bars, anyone that has bars, they're doing it the Wu-Tang way. They just don't know it.
I like
they
what you
changed
did
the
there.
game.
I like what you did there. And by the way, I feel like that about this program because, and I'm not going to say some of the shows, but here's what I want the people to do. When you see some Mr. Me Too's, some people that you feel like copied our style, bit our swag, even though I don't use that term, make sure that you add us so we can follow who the Me Too's are.
I love
it's
the
important.
I love it.
But it's important to acknowledge them. No question. It's important to acknowledge them because that's when you got to continue to elevate. That's
Anytime I see the Mr. Me Too's out there, I love it. It makes me so happy.
Seen a lot
it doesn't
of shows,
make me upset. It doesn't make me upset. It makes me happy.
But don't you see a lot of shows now? They got their favorite immortals or pictures up on the wall type of thing.
Good. We invented walls. We invented walls.
Guess what you haven't seen though? You'll never see a beautiful family picture like that.
No.
Look at Joie and the kids.
Shout out.
And you know what you'll never see over my right shoulder of a sports program? Somebody gonna wake up one day and be like, is that Harriet Tubman? Eventually somebody's gonna say.
What happened with the Tubman 20s?
That's where I was going.
Where are those at?
Where they at?
I got some 20s in my pocket right now. None of them featuring Harriet Tubman.
You know what? Here's the thing.
I haven't heard an update on those
Here's
either.
the thing.
Let me do some Google.
How about this?
Let's do a Google News search.
If
just
you
see what
want
the
to go
latest
to the
is.
White House, Kanye, talk about the Harriet Tubman 20s. That's the only thing I want to know.
I'm not even discussing that. I'm not even. Keep it moving.
I purposely
keep it moving.
No,
on that.
I purposely have avoided this topic
Keep it
for
moving.
a really long time.
Keep it moving.
And I had a day off for the program yesterday. And I had a moment of clarity because I was back watching my CNNs, MSNBCs, Fox, reading USA Today. I'm like, why is this guy trending?
Oh, no.
And I'm like,
you just said you weren't going to
seriously?
talk about it. Keep it moving. I'm not talking about it. I'm not talking about it. I'm not wasting my breath on it.
Come on, dog.
I'm not wasting my breath on it.
Come on, dog.
What I am going to do is I'm going to Google these Harriet Tubman 20s.
Come on.
And see what's happening.
Come
on. Jalen, so there's something that you and I just disagree on. Aliens. Do you believe that there's aliens here on this planet?
Of course not.
Okay. In China, they've got pictures. I'm going to show you the pictures. Let's just, first of all, I need to get the update here. Harriet Tubman 20.
We need
Designer
to know.
releases 3D printed stamp. Nope. Guess what? No real update.
No update on the Harriet Tubman
real
20s?
Update. Yep.
I'm disappointed.
Yeah. Trump notes Andrew Jackson continues to be on the $20 bill. Guess what? No update. No update on that. But there are...
Hell, can we at least get a limited edition?
Something. I'll make a fake one. It's counterfeit Harriet Tubmans. They'll take them. Any real establishment will take them.
All I know is if that ever happens, for people to look like me, all other bills might as well be extinct.
You see these pictures? I'm now showing Jalen Rose pictures of an unidentified flying object over China. Dog, that's alien behavior right there. That's alien activity right in front of your face. That's aliens on this planet. What else is that besides aliens flying around? What else is that, Jalen Rose?
Fighter plane.
Fire plane?
Fighter
plane?
Yeah.
Flying like that.
SpaceX. That's what it is.
No, dog. Did they say that in your ear? I can always tell. Did they say that in your ear?
Yeah.
I can tell. I can always tell. Reggie, I can always tell.
That look like SpaceX.
I can tell by the way that you talk, so like the way that you say it. I can tell if it's your thought or somebody else's thought. Look at the pattern of that flight. There are aliens in China, Jalen. Do you not accept this as alien activity?
The closest I accept to that, rest in peace, was Robin Williams, Mort from Ork. Nanu Nanu.
Nanu Nanu.
Shout out.
Matt Damon was on the Podfathers pod, and he was telling stories about doing Good Will Hunting with Robin Williams, and he said they were walking around Boston and people would still call him Mork. Like, he's done so many movies,
That's dope.
So many other things.
That's dope.
It's still just Mork and Mindy.
I bet
what happened to Mindy? Poor Mindy her career never really took off after that.
But I bet, like,
no one knows who we're talking about, by the way.
They can Google it. I bet that's frustrating for actors. Like, when people only identify you by one of your characters. Of
course.
You've done 150 movies.
Of course.
I bet that's frustrating in a lot of ways. Like, you appreciate that people acknowledge, you did great for a role, but you're like, what about my other projects?
I feel like musicians deal with that all the time. Like, we did that story about Limp Bizkit, right? And people just want to hear him do Nookie or whatever. It's like, yo, I made new music. Like, I was in the lab last week. I cooked up something brand new that I'm really passionate about. But you just want to hear my old stuff. Eminem's album is so dope. That's basically what you said the whole time.
Yes, it is.
Oh, so dope.
I gotta go. I can't wait to hear that Ghostface. Can I tell you a quick Ghostface Killer story?
Of course.
I was at the BET Awards in Los Angeles when allegedly there was somebody stabbed by Young Buck of G Unit. I was sitting 10 feet away from the legend, the great Dr. Dre's table.
Shout out.
And I was giving dap to people as they came in and or vice versa. And initially, being a Wu fan, I was like, I don't know if I should go approach them because it's 100 of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you know how that works. Like, I'm just standing there, literally. I kind of got away from the table, and it's like 100 of them coming. So I was like, I don't know if I want to even, get in their way type of thing, And so Ghost was like, yo, what up? Gave me dap, right? And I wondered why he was holding his hand kind of funny.
Oh, I know.
I looked down at his arm, had the huge iron eagle on the arm.
He's still rapping about it. Yeah.
Man, the eagle, man, you can stab somebody with that thing.
It was like life size.
I know. It's so big.
When he went to the jeweler, he was like, listen, I want a bracelet. Like, okay, cool, we can do a bracelet. He's like, I want a bracelet with a sculpture of an eagle on it. Like, like a little, and then he's like, no, dog, like a real eagle.
Yes. If I was one of those Mr. Me Too's type of guys, I would have tried to knock that idea off and do my own version. But it was so fly. I love the Wu
much.
One
thing I love about the Wu is listen, like fashion and hip hop have been linked forever. Like, they weren't the first people to rhyme about their clothes, but they would take it the extra, like that kind of like New York switch where it's like, I'm going to make stuff that no one else could possibly ever have. And that the most famous would be the way they would take their wallabies and dye them. Like, they would dye their wallabies, like, and customize their shoes. Just be like, someone else can go and get these Clarks. Someone else can go and buy these. But what someone else can't do is buy these ones and then dye them multiple colors.
All you dye is this here, right here.
Right, blue, boom, boom.
Bang.
This right here, blue, and cream, and then cream splash with the cream.
Right. But also, when you listen to that album, the Raekwon and Ghostface album,
it's the purple tape you're talking about. Cuban Links.
The thing that I love, you can clearly tell when they went to master that, they only did it once.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's dope to me.
That was one of RZA's like signatures of production. He was just
really?
It was just like, yo, like I'm leaving in all the warts and all, like all the messes, all the mess ups.
I like that.
All the mess ups,
I like
all
that.
the whatever. Like
I love that. That was so raw.
Yeah, and
like I would go back and just rewind the parts that were the mess ups.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's dope.
Man, I love the Wu-Tang.
Like, what is that noise? What is he doing?
And they're still coming out with hot stuff. Like, it's just not as popular because, it's a different generation, different times. I'm not mad at it. But, like, when you listen to this Ghostface thing, shout to Reg for putting me onto it, you're like, yo, this is Ghostface. It sounds like Ghostface.
That's all I'm about to bump.
You know why I got jealous? You know I got real jealous?
Why?
Shout out to Michael Rappaport.
Shout out.
Michael Rappaport did the intro. I was like, wow.
Did he?
Like, yo, 10 years? Jalen, you could do that.
I got love for him.
You're a couple emails away from doing the Ghostface record intro.
If they have me on the Wu record, I'm retiring.
It'll be too long. You would go for 10 minutes.
I'll be trying to sing our intro.
Always appreciate people that call up. The voice.
So I got to ask you one more question.
No, I'm doing a transition.
I need your leadership, though, because we can't mislead the people. So what is next for our petition? We got 4,500 people that have signed. Mm-hmm. So what's next? What should my personal action be?
No.
What should the people's action be?
Jalen, 3 words. Strongly worded email. It's on me now. Ball's in my court.
So would you want us to stomp the yard? Are we going in front of theaters picketing? Like, what's happening here?
I believe it's a straight-to-TV film and over-the-top film. It hasn't been shot yet. I'm just going to write a strongly worded email to whoever's behind this. I will find an email address, and I'll write a strongly worded email, and I'll read it on this program. I mean, remember when you saw Wu-Tang, they had 100 people behind them? We got 4,500 people behind us.
I like what you did there.
And we got so many thousands of people that listen to the show every day, and you guys are the backbone of the show. We give the people what they want. You guys contribute with your thoughts and questions via voicemail and Twitter. We're going to put a lot more of your thoughts and questions on the television show, so we need you to leave us voicemails, cultural, regional, soft move, boss move, ladies. We always need female voicemails.
Hey, ladies!
Oh, Jalen, I had Chine Agwumake on the show, and again, another woman was like, I don't care if you call it Woman Crush Wednesday. It's officially Woman Crush Wednesday now. Yep. Every single woman we've asked has been like, y'all are tripping. Yep. Every single one, Jalen.
But they are also, respectfully, the same ones when I brought in a ribbed undershirt and said, what do you call this?
But that's got nothing to do with this, Jalen.
Nope. And they called it something that we retired. So I want to represent their best interest. Of course, if she doesn't feel like it's an issue, we must listen to what she has to say.
That's what I'm saying.
I respect what she has to say.
That's what I'm saying.
And she killed it too.
Every single female doesn't mind. So I don't even know what we're trying to protect now.
Did you ask her how many dudes come up to her and feel like they could beat her in basketball? That's what I would love to ask her. I didn't want to talk to her about that
because you know what? I've read about this, and WNBA players are tired of this conversation.
Okay.
Like because imagine being them. Like, they have this conversation all the time.
Like, dudes that didn't play in the NBA coming up to them thinking that they can beat them in basketball.
Do dudes come up to you talking about beating you in basketball?
Yeah, but they joking.
Yeah.
They joking.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she offered to run in the league? Oh,
yeah. Are you going to come play with us? You're going to be on the team
I'm ready
Wednesday?
now.
Wednesday, we got 7 o'clock Wednesday game.
Just so you know.
You're coming off the bench, though, dog. You're going to be Carmelo.
Nah.
You're coming off the bench.
Once I warm up, I got to be out there.
You're coming off the bench.
Once I warm up, I got to be out there. All right, I'll come at halftime.
We got a good thing going. We got 3-game win streak.
Just let me play the whole second half.
Okay. We always give the people what they want, so we really need your voicemails. 985-80-JALEN. You leave us a voicemail, we'll play it on the show just like this.
Jalen and Jacoby. What up, dope? It's your boy AG down here in San Antonio. Shout out Reg. Shout out the whole staff, as usual. Got a question for y'all. So I was watching the Laker game last night. They beat the Warriors. It's preseason. It's whatever. But I saw some, pretty neat things. I saw your boy Lance out here dishing it to Bron, and Bron getting the and one lefty hook layup. I saw an alley-oop from Bron to Lonzo. So my question is really more so off the court. Who do you see LeBron more so meshing with off the court, and why? Do you think it's going to be Lance? Do you think it's going to be Rondo? Hey, do you think it's going to be JaVale? We never know. So let me know what you guys think. Keep giving the people what they want. Keep giving them checks. And yep.
Shout to AG in San Antonio. See, I'm the perfect person to answer this one because I know what it's like to have 3 kids and to be older and to be washed. You ain't going out. LeBron's not in his 3rd year in the league. Like back then, he had to have someone on the team that he meshed with. They could go out to clubs. They could go out to dinners. But when you got Savannah and 3 young children at home, he's going home. You know, he's not doing too much meshing off the court. He's going home.
I got the mic drop for this comment, for this question. You are exactly right. So much so that he's talking about in the media drinking wine, not with his teammates, but with his kids.
Yeah, he can't wait. He can't wait until Bronny can drink wine. He just cannot wait. No, I can't wait until me and Quincy can go to the bar.
That's dope.
I cannot wait. Just watch a game.
That is so dope.
I just can't wait. I'm going to take him to Knicks games this year. I'm going to make him a Knicks fan.
You know what I can't wait to do? To Q get of a certain age where I get to ask you, can I expose him to certain things so you don't have to?
Of course.
That's going to be
That's what
great.
uncles are for.
That's going to be great.
That's what uncles are for.
It's going to be great. I'm like, Q, here's what you do with these singles.
Q's been watching the show. He's been watching the show. He watches our online clips. You know, he stays, you know, he likes it. He's got some notes.
That's what's up.
He's got some notes.
We should bring him on the show.
Yeah, he wants to change the intro.
He does.
No, I'll play it.
But seriously, like, I'm all for, like, having him correspond and try to get the voice of the people who listen to the show, like the kids and their families.
There are a lot of people that listen in their cars.
Yeah.
A lot of kids in
we
the back.
We hear people calling up.
Yeah, and people call, and you know what? Shout to all the kids. Shout to all the kids that are subjected to Jalen Jacoby because their parents want to listen to it while they're driving.
And so we can try to get this going. When you're calling the show, if your kids are present, allow them to ask a question. Allow them to be a part of the conversation.
Yep. Let's get a picture one.
Technology Truths, brought to you by Geico.
Technology Truths.
Truth. Teenagers can communicate entirely in emojis.
How was the birthday party? Pizza slice, kitten, soccer ball, pineapple?
Truth. It's so easy to switch and save on car insurance at geico.com.
What are you talking about? Paperclip, shoulder shrug, high five, wizard hat? What?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
We haven't spoken about this yet. Jimmy Butler went ham. He went to practice. He yelled at everybody on the team. He yelled at the front office. Went straight from practice, had Rachel Nichols over the crib. Gave her an interview.
Did he have that fish tank still in there?
No. And now there's this tweet from Shams. Sham God tweets. Timberwolves All-Star Jimmy Butler called a players-only meeting today, which is yesterday, airing his feelings towards situation and management per league sources. Butler expressed to players he would compete with them, as signs pointing to him staying with the franchise into the regular season. Jalen, I have so many questions.
Okay.
But first, signs pointing of him staying with the team into the regular season, could this really happen?
Yes, it could happen. And a lot of this report, well done, by the way, is laughable from the Jimmy Butler aspect. And here's why. So let me get this right. You gonna call a team meeting? You? First off, I want to see the number of people that showed up. Number two, of course he's gonna possibly be with the team as the regular season starts. You know why? He don't control his own destiny.
No, he doesn't.
Nope.
Okay? So if they find a deal that they like, they're going to move him. If the owner, Glenn Taylor, butts into the negotiations, then it may happen faster. If it's up to Tom Thibodeau and he's trying to maximize the value of a guy that he coached in Chicago and Minnesota, and he understands that when he plays, that's going to help elevate the team plus his value, that's the better opportunity to then move him. Ultimately, yes, it's going to happen because one, the owner said it will, and two, you don't want to lose him at the end of the year for nothing anyway.
Nope.
Somewhere Karl Anthony Towns is like, y'all told me he was going to be gone, and here he is in practice yelling at me. Like, I signed an extension with y'all. Like, everybody's upset about this. And this players-only meeting thing is funny to me. It's funny to me because, like you said, how many people showed up? And how did he text? Did he send a group text to be at this time at this place? And then Jeff Teague comes out and says, there was no players-only meeting. That's fake news. So what do you think really happened? Like, why would Jeff Teague say it didn't happen if it happened?
Well, because a team meeting is exactly what I just acknowledged. That means everybody's present and everybody hopes to air out their grievances so they can move forward with one goal.
It was him and Taj.
If he had a meeting, that means he wanted to drive his agenda to tell them, it ain't about y'all, dog. I know what happened in practice. I just, everything just got the best of me. We just gonna go out there and do what we can to compete. But for a Minnesota franchise that's going into a critical season, because a couple of things happened that people overlooked with Rachel's fine interview with Butler. One, she asked him, is the situation fixed? He said no. She said, can the situation be fixed? He said, possibly.
He said, maybe.
You know what that means? In other words, if y'all trade Wiggins and get me his bread, I'll be good. That's really all this is about. He realized that Tibbs values him at an elite level. He also said Karl Anthony Towns, best player on the team. He also said Wiggins, most talented player on the team. Ding, ding. That's why they got paid.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's up to Wiggins to live up to the level of finance, but they can't meet Jimmy's financial needs.
Jimmy did the thing with that interview where he compliments Wiggins, but also disrespects him at the same time. By calling him the most talented, he's got the most God-given talent, but he doesn't work hard enough to realize that talent to express itself on the basketball floor. It's a sneaky thing when people give you those backhanded compliments.
I know, but it's also correct. It's a backhanded compliment when you're talking about my game, but I got something you really want. That's this bread.
Exactly.
And so, they ultimately will be professionals moving forward as long as he's there, because everybody wants to serve their best interest and they want to not be fined or not be undisciplined or not, do anything to disrupt what's trying to happen, especially for the two dudes that know they're going to possibly be there.
Well, let's go behind the curtains. So, this time, George Sedano's going to take us behind the curtain because he has some information. He's got Miami ties. He has some information about what went down between Tibbs and Pat Riley. He says, quote, the medicals were exchanged, which generally means this is a done deal. And then Tibbs called back and wanted more picks from Miami. And Pat Riley, literally, I was told, called him a mother bleeper and hung up the phone. What? So now we got Pat Riley cursing at Tibbs on the phone. What does that tell you about what's going on between the two of them?
It happens often. I know that for public consumption, it isn't discussed in this level of detail, and I'm glad George brought us behind the curtain. But this deal seems like it's on a path to get done. For Miami, if they're going to reshape their team and catapult themselves in the Eastern Conference race, it should get done because they have no flexibility otherwise with their roster.
Yep. Well, we'll continue with the Jimmy Butler saga, but right now we're going to move on. This Friday, another episode of The Shop featuring LeBron James and other luminaries airs at 9:30 on HBO, and we've got a clip. Let's watch.
I think maybe one of my biggest concerns in my career is just to figure out how to exit gracefully. I've watched people overstay their welcome, and I just don't ever want to be that guy, and that's addicted to the feeling of victory, addicted to the emotion of people digesting something that they love, and get to a point where I'm feeding them something and they're just like, yeah.
What helps? What helps with the gracefully bowing out is having people around you that was there from the day one, that's seen you from the beginning.
They help you gracefully bow?
Yeah, you can't have around you that don't keep it honest with you and keep it real with you.
You're saying you need somebody to tell you.
You gotta have someone to tell you, like, yo, either accept a lesser role or you gotta tank.
What I love about that clip is Mav, so you're saying that you need someone around you that's close to you, that's been there since day one, that's supposed to tell you when to gracefully bow. Just want to confirm, because that he knows that's his role.
Correct.
He's like, that's going to be me, bro. Remember you said this. They've got cameras here. That's going to be me, and I'm going to have to tell you that.
I'm happy that he and his crew are his squad. I got love for them. Rich, Mav, Randy,
PR.
Shout out.
I'm happy that they're bringing us unfiltered conversation. I know a lot of people don't want to see their favorite athletes cursing on television.
But they curse.
Especially LeBron James, who's an amazing role model.
That's not even an issue to me.
But that's what's said in adult conversation, especially in a barbershop. And I get where Drake is coming from because that's always the push and pull for an entertainer. Is, am I addicted to the fame or am I doing this for the love? And those lines get blurred a lot. And when you don't have anything else that you're passionate about and or feel like you're good at, that ultimately is what makes you hang on too long. But in his case, for an artist, you could do shows forever.
I know. And you know what? I'm never leaving this show. They could tear down these walls. They could take the cameras out. I'm still showing up. I'm still showing up and doing this show. I'm not gracefully bowing out. I'm going to have to get fired, canceled. They're going to have to put out a restraining order. I'm coming to work to do the show. There is a company called Upstart that can help you financially. And what they do is they loan out money, but they don't just use the FICO score just like everybody else. They take into account factors like your job experience and education when determining what your interest rate should be for this loan. It's super quick and easy. To check your Upstart rate is absolutely free and has no effect on your credit score. Your Upstart rate takes just 2 minutes, and if you're approved, you can get your funds as soon as the next business day if you're approved. And you can pay for just about anything. Whether you have a business loan or you have some debts, Upstart will give you that money regardless of what your FICO score is. A lot of people have debt. It's embarrassing a little bit, but you have to take baby steps to get yourself out of debt, and Upstart can help you with that. They offer personal loans, but they're not like the ones that your bank or your credit union provides. That's because Upstart goes beyond the traditional score when assessing your credit worthiness. Over 100,000 people have used Upstart to pay off credit cards, fund their wedding, or simply make a large purchase. Right now, you go to upstart.com/Jacoby and find out how low your Upstart rate is. Checking your rate only takes 2 minutes and it will not affect your credit. That's upstart.com/Jacoby. Jalen Rose, you were the first person to predict, not really report, but kind of report that this will be Anthony Davis's last season in New Orleans. Since there's been a lot of buzz about that potential movement from Anthony Davis, he sat down with Rachel Nichols, and here's what he had to say about it.
You recently switched agents. Mm-hmm. You're now with Rich Paul, who, of course, his most famous client is LeBron James. And, of course, as soon as that happened, everyone's, AD to the Lakers, that's going to happen. AD's going to demand a trade to the Lakers. What has that been like for you to hear that from everywhere?
You hear it everywhere. And it's funny. How did that even have to correlate? But
you know how that correlates.
Of course, but in my head, like I said, I don't pay attention to it. You can't listen to what somebody else saying or listen to all the white noise or AD's going here, AD's going here, AD's going here. AD's playing for the Pelicans this year. So my job is to focus on winning and helping these guys as much as possible on and off the floor.
Jalen, I'm going to read too much into this. That's what I do. I read too much into things. He said AD's playing for the Pelicans this year. He didn't say AD's signed for the Pelicans for 3 more years. He said AD's playing for the Pelicans when, Jalen?
This year.
This year. Huh. And am I reading too much into this?
Rachel been killing it with the interviews, by the way. Big shout.
Shout out.
And I wrote down a couple of words that they used that were profound to me.
Oh, okay. Profound.
She talked about everybody discussing it.
Mm-hmm.
He talked about hearing it everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said he don't know how to correlate and or where it came from.
How could that possibly correlate?
Hey, AD. It was me. I did. Hi. And the great thing about doing this for a living is, what is he supposed to say?
He's supposed to say, I'm a Pelican. I just signed an extension with the Pelicans. I'm on contract to be a Pelican for quite some time. I'm dedicated to New Orleans. I love New Orleans. I'm going to stay with this team forever. This is my team.
That's why the supporters of this program, when they see other shows taking our news and then turning it into broken news, they're going to understand that there's a distinction. I now have people asking Anthony Davis about free agency when he ain't even a free agent.
He's not even close to becoming a free agent. Like, he's not even in a pre-agency year. He just signed a new deal.
Shows is debating about it now. People asking him about it now. But in all honesty, LeBron James signed a 4-year contract. An all-NBA performer will be joining him in Los Angeles.
Someone's coming.
And I'm on wax saying that I believe that's going to be Anthony Davis.
Someone's coming next year. Well, LeBron tries to build a super team or a dynasty in Los Angeles with the Lakers, but we already have one in the Bay with the Warriors. And Draymond Green, he opened up to ESPN and talked about the formation of that dynasty.
Day opening.
And he said this, quote, "We were in Memphis down 2-1. Steph wasn't playing well and it felt like the world was collapsing on us. So he was in his room doing nothing. I called him, hey, let's go get a drink. All right, cool. So we went to Blue City Cafe, drank a bunch of drinks, ate a bunch of garbage, and have a bunch of fun." And then he also went on to say, and then we won the next 3. Then we're in Cleveland, down 2-1 in the first final. Steph was struggling, so I took a bottle of wine to his room. So it's just me and Steph in his room crushing a whole bottle of wine, and we won the next 3. Jalen Rose, I got a couple things to say.
Okay.
Number 1, this worked for us. You know what I mean? This is how you build chemistry. Have some adult beverages together, talk, open up a little bit.
No doubt.
Number 2, 2 guys, 1 bottle of wine. That's not that much wine. That's really not that much wine.
So I take this level of investigative reporting thing serious.
Very serious.
And the one thing I want to acknowledge is beyond the 2 circumstances that he gave us, I'll guarantee you something. Those ain't the only 2 times they've had drinks.
Probably not.
Okay.
It does help chemistry. It builds chemistry.
It does. And 1 bottle of wine, 2 guys, that sounds like 10 minutes. And somebody needs to call room
another
service.
one. Exactly. Oh, you got a wine opener too? Well, he also let us in on another one of his secrets of success. Just the one thing that he just can't travel without. And he said this, quote, this is one I love. This is one I absolutely love. He said, quote, "Something I never leave behind when I'm traveling is candles. They're incredible. Mango tangerine scented." What? Jalen Rose, let's take a look at Draymond. There he is, just in the tub, surrounded by his mango tangerine scented candles. First of all, do you think he travels with the candles? Like he packs them in a bag?
I would never accuse anybody of being medicinal. But usually those are the individuals that like to make sure
you think it's a cover-up,
that they have their aura when they get into their circumstance.
Jalen Rose, are you saying that's a failed test?
All I know is y'all gonna see him tweet probably within the next couple of months. Like, I don't know why the NBA keep coming to drug test me.
It's because you travel with scented candle, dog.
They're glass too, probably.
Yeah. Hey, you're not supposed to have open flames in the hotel room anyway.
But here's the trick.
What's the trick?
Wet a rag. Make sure you put it on the fire extinguisher.
Okay.
Put it on the fire.
Okay, you're giving away too much, Jalen. You're giving away too much. You got to move on. So last week it was Sterling Shepard assaulting a garbage can. Mm-hmm. Last night, during a loss to the Eagles, we had Odell Beckham not just leaving the field early for halftime. Now he headbutts and punches the air conditioner. What is it with the Giants assaulting inanimate objects?
I said this a while ago in this program. I think the relationship between the Giants and Odell Beckham just happened at a wrong time for each party. The team that needs to actually build out from the line of scrimmage, in particular on the offensive side of the ball, is not able to do that when they need to pay big dollars to their really talented wide receiver. The problem is they were losing without him.
Yep.
And they're losing with him. So these antics and this immature behavior, while I'm not going to put in any way, shape, or form all of the Giants' problems on him.
No, not at all.
Because Eli Apple was a first-round pick, and he's not playing like one.
Eli
Flowers
Manning
was a first-round pick,
and he got
released.
Not an Odell problem.
And so what I will say is they're knowers, meaning I'm going to be successful regardless. They're seekers that could go either way depending on the situations. And then there's dreamers. People that talk about all of the right things and how they want to win, but they don't do none of the things that come with actually sacrificing for the cause. I would hope, since they're 1-5, he takes the approach of a seeker, somebody that's going to lead from the front in times of despair, not get upset and very emotional on the sideline when things don't go his way or the team's way.
Yep. Jalen Rose, we have an actual big football game this weekend, the Chiefs and the Patriots. What do you expect to happen in Foxborough?
Let me see. Do the Patriots still have Tom Brady?
Thomas Brady is still on the team. He's number 12. Yes, he's number 12.
Do they still have a tight end? His last name is like
Gronkowski. Yeah, Gronkowski.
Did Edelman return?
Yes, he did. He's back.
And they're integrating Josh Gordon still, right?
Yep, caught touchdown pass.
And Sony Michel's now running really well in the backfield.
Yeah, got 100 yards.
Okay.
In a row.
That's what I'm going with.
Okay. I believe it. So, Jalen Rose, team camaraderie, and you can kind of get in each other's cases. There's a video of some of the young Mavs that really made me think of you. Let's watch the young Mavericks.
You don't know about that Facebook Live, though. You got to say what up to Fayetteville, though. There's 7 people on it.
So that was Luka Doncic.
That was fun.
Watching Dennis Smith Jr., and he's like, you don't know about that Facebook Live, though. And he said, you got 7 people. Jalen Rose, you do this all the time before the show. You won't prepare for the show that hundreds of thousands of people watch, but you'll be streaming to 25 people on Instagram.
Because it's important to keep our social media supporters engaged. Kayla Johnson does a terrific job.
I love the young Mavs.
Of sending me green flies.
This tells me that the young Mavs got a good core going. Because if Luka Doncic can already clown his teammates, that's going to be good.
And also, you can clown your teammates when you can ball. And he can
ball.
And also, when you're a distributor, you keep people around you happy.
Exactly. All right. Well, there was a woman on a flight that did not keep the people around her happy.
Oh, no.
She got on a plane from Orlando to Cleveland, and she had an emotional support animal.
Oh, no.
Right? So let's imagine you sat down in your first class seat, and a woman sat down next to you, and she had an emotional support squirrel.
What?
And then they had to remove the emotional support squirrel from the plane, and it caused a 3-hour delay. How would you feel if you sat down and someone tried to bring a squirrel next to you?
First off, I'd be upset that somebody delayed the flight, because just like anybody else, when I'm at the airport and on an airplane, guess what? That means I'm trying to be somewhere. And you delaying me 3 hours now creates a domino throughout my day, probably forces me to miss meetings, forces me to be late for shows. I would be upset. I would take this bat to that squirrel. This plane about to take off. Let me handle this. I got something in my carry-on that can take care of this. Give me 5 minutes. I'll be right back, pilot. Stewardess, y'all ain't got to worry about it.
I understand what a dog can do for you emotionally, but squirrels ain't going to help you emotionally. Squirrels, they're not good partners.
And also, I probably should admit this, but a squirrel, that's a hood pet. I can't front. We used to catch squirrels.
You had a hood pet?
Yeah.
You had a hood squirrel pet? What was his name?
I'm not proud of it.
What was his name? We got time for another voicemail. Hit us up, Reg.
Hey, this is Dave from New York City. Guys, I love you. Shout out, Reg. Our shout outs, cultural, regional, or universal. I remember first year 20 years ago, it's like, wow, these guys are on the radio and they're just shouting everybody out. Wasn't my thing, but now it seems like everybody's doing it. Cultural, regional, universal. Tell me, guys.
Dave's passionate. Was that me?
You left us a voicemail?
Shout out to Universal. But he did remind me of a time. There was a time when Jalen Rose, we would be recording the podcast into microphones for distribution worldwide. And you'd be sitting there just giving shout outs to people that tweeted at you. Do you remember how that made me feel?
You did not like it.
There are so many times I just wanted to walk out of the room and just be like, if this is what you're going to do, Jalen, I'm just going to walk out of the room.
And that's the answer to this question.
You can do this without me.
That's clearly the line of demarcation in this conversation. It's cultural.
Oh, you're saying shout outs are cultural?
No question. And then it became universal. But it's like hip hop. Initially, it started and it was cultural, and then it became mainstream. It's the exact same thing. And you just gave the exact same definition and example that proves my point.
Here's my thing on this, Jalen. Why make 15 people happy at the expense of the 100,000 that are listening to the podcast?
Because that's who we are. We're not the 60,000 stadium tour. We're the 6,000 tastemaker audience.
You always say this.
Show.
You always say this. You always say this, right?
It's true.
Here's the problem with it. You get paid a lot more if you play for 60,000.
Not true necessarily.
You're going on the arena tour, you're making a lot more money than if you're going to the 6,000 venue.
Not necessarily true.
Okay. I wouldn't mind being on ESPN 1.
Nope. In our business.
I want to sell out all the way.
In our business.
Let's kill the intro.
In our business.
I'm going to wear a suit every day.
It wouldn't affect our bottom line either way. It would not affect our bottom line either. It's not like we're an artist.
Let's start talking about football.
We start get revenue sharing from the door.
Let's talk about the baseball playoffs.
Talk about hockey.
Give me a top 5 list, Jalen.
I'll give you my top 5 hockey masks.
Hockey masks?
I got a cultural regional.
Oh, you got one now?
Yeah.
This is the first topic you've ever brought to the program in 7 years.
Thank you.
This is the first time you've ever brought a topic to the program in 7 years.
That means I'm a contributor.
Thank you. Yeah, you need to live up to your producer.
I'm like Big Crown.
Live up to your producer.
You know what I'm saying?
Credit. What do you got, Jalen? Why don't you host the show?
So I was with my barber, big shout Andy Authentic. Also shout to my LA barber, Shiz 215.
Shiz giving Reggie cuts.
I got the best guys in the business.
See, this is the thing. You shouted out 2 people at the expense of the 100,000 people.
And my guy Hawk in Atlanta.
Okay.
Here's what I want to say. Andy brought up a great point to me. He said that there was some people sending a couple of YouTube videos around to him, and he has a big IG following, and it had people getting into physical altercations, fist fights. And his question to me is, jumping in to help somebody in a fist fight, is it cultural or regional?
Universal.
And I was like,
That's universal.
But he pointed it out to me. All of the videos show people that look like me jumping in to help their friends, and people that look like you were not jumping in to help their friends.
Okay, then now on behalf of all people who look like me, you went too far with this one, dog.
That's why
you went too far with this one. So now all of a sudden, all white folks don't back up their friends?
That's not.
Look at my nose.
Let me tell you something. I can back you up without fighting for you. I could call 911. That's backing you up.
No, it's not.
I can scream for help.
No, it's not. I'll never forget this moment. One of my friends was fighting this other dude, and the other dude's friend squares up to me, and I'm looking at him like, why? I got no problem with you. Just because we both know people that have a problem doesn't mean that we got to fight.
You just answered my point. People that look like me, when they're fighting, we're also standing there next to them fighting. That's how this works. Yeah. It's not like I go stand behind him and then you stand behind your guy and we just watch.
No, you watch until your friend starts losing.
It's one.
You watch until that's the rules. The rules are you watch until your friend starts losing.
But
those are the rules.
But those are the OG rules.
Because I would want my friend to win a fair one.
No question.
If he wins a fair one, then we're both going home and celebrating.
Can you teach the new generation what that actually means?
You watch until your friend starts losing.
You just went over somebody's head.
That's when you what?
You just went over some of the audience's heads with your OG commentary. Can you please explain to people what a fair one is?
Oh, just like a one-on-one fight.
A lot of people don't know what that means.
Yeah, and this is the ideal. Option 1, you and your friend wins a straight-up one-on-one fight. Option number 2, your friend starts to lose, then you jump in and turn into a fracas.
Okay,
that's how it goes.
Right,
that's how it goes.
But that's why jumping in becomes a part of the conversation, because at the beginning, somebody's always winning or losing.
Another thing is, if you're going to hold your friend back, you have to really do it.
Like Marcus Smart.
You have to really do it. Yep. You have to really do it.
And Rozier.
Can I tell a story? I don't like fight stories that much. I feel like people tell them too much, but this one has nothing to do with me. It doesn't make me look like a tough guy or anything.
Okay.
It's playing a basketball game. Pick up basketball game. It's starting to get, there's levels where you're like, oh, this might really become something, or it might not. And in the basketball game, they got, you're watching a video while I'm talking to you. So I flipped over your phone. So again, there's over 100,000 people listening to this right now, and you're doing something else.
I was about to get some shout-outs, but I want to teach everybody something. And this is why I want you to stay focused on your conversation.
You want me to stay focused on the conversation? You're watching a video on your phone.
There's a reason why there's a reason. And my parents,
I would love to hear
and my mom,
I'm here for this
people in my family used to always tell me this because I'm the youngest. There's a reason why you have 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 1 mouth. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Speak less. Hear more. See everything. I'm right on top of everything that you were going over.
What was
and you were not finished.
What was I talking about?
You tell me.
What was I talking about?
You
just got finished saying that you were all over everything I was discussing. Yeah, I know from your face, because I know you so well. You have no idea what I was saying, because you were watching a video on your phone.
You haven't gotten to the point yet.
Jalen, do you know why I didn't get to the point? Because you weren't listening.
How can you believe I wasn't listening when I have terrific hearing?
I can believe you weren't listening because you can't tell me what I said.
You don't know what you said.
I know exactly what I said, Jalen, because it's me. I'm not telling you. You know what? I'm done. I'm leaving. It's Friday. I'm out of here. I want to thank everybody that subbed in for Jalen this week. I want to thank
Colin
everybody.
Kaepernick, who got the W.E.B. Du Bois Award.
I want to thank Dubois. And I want to thank AG from San Antonio that called in. Make sure you call 985-80-JALEN. Leave us voicemails. Soft Move, Boss Move, Cultural Regional, especially Cultural Regional. Appreciate everybody
that
listens to the show.
Yes.
We'll be back. Why is that?
We're not done.
We're not done. We're not done. Got to give the people time. Give people what they want.
They my little guys. I love them. Who you say is going to be at that show again?
Look at my nose.